Hey guys, today I'm going to be making a Chocolate Cherry Surprise Cheesecake. This one came from the November 2005 edition of Southern Living, just one of their magazine recipes. So I'm going to go through the ingredients, what you need first. You have to split it a little bit, so you'll see it's divided up into different size bowls, but I'm going to tell you the totals first. So you need half a cup of butter, or 1 stick of butter, 4 ounces or 4 1-ounce squares of, we've got semi-sweet, you can also use unsweetened chocolate, 2.5 cups of sugar divided, 5 large eggs divided, you can see you need 2 and 3, you need 1/4 of a cup of milk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract divided into 1 teaspoon each, 1 cup of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. We're using the Philadelphia brand cream cheese. There's 3 packages there opened up. 1/2 cup of sour cream, any brand you want. We need 2 more ounces of semi-sweet chocolate baking squares. We're gonna end up melting this. And then we need 1 cup of canned cherries. We just use the Great Value pie filling cherries. Take the cup out, but save this as a topping as well. So we'll use what's left for a topping. So let me split this up the way it's supposed to be, and then I'll be back. Okay, so for the first thing you want to do is melt in you're gonna have just whatever pan you need. You need to melt your stick of butter and your 4 ounces of chocolate in a pan. And then once it's done melting, take it and put it in your mix. We're gonna use the stand mixer. Put it in your mixing bowl and let it set for 5 minutes. And I'll be back to stirring everything else. All right, it's set for 5 minutes. I literally took it out of the pan, poured it straight in here. So it's been there for 5 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is, I'll turn this on low, and I'm gonna stir in my sugar, and then I'm gonna add the eggs one at a time. All right, so now I'm gonna add my milk and my 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then add your salt. And then your flour. Let me get a spoon out. Just to make it easier. So you're gonna add your the flour and just basically get it all mixed together to where it's all well blended. And before you get this going, you need a springform pan, lightly greased, just grease it, just spray it, we're using cooking spray. And you want your oven on 325. And that's a 9-inch springform pan. Okay, so this is all mixed up. And I'm gonna pour it in the bottom of this pan. It's almost like a texture of like a brownie almost, a kind of a runny brownie. So this is gonna bake on 325 for 25 minutes. And then once it comes out, you're gonna take it out of the oven and let it sit on a wire rack and let it cool. And then we'll start making our filling. Okay, so here's the base out of the oven, and I put it on the cooling rack, and it's just been sitting there for probably 50 minutes or so. It's still pretty hot, but it's cooled off enough where I think we can move on. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take 2 ounces of this semi-sweet chocolate. I've just got it in a bowl. I'm gonna microwave it. I'll put it in for like a minute, and then I just watch it after the first like 45 seconds or so. I'll move it around a little bit, and then go from like 15-second to 30-second intervals between, stirring regularly until it's melted, and then I'll come back and we'll do the rest of the stuff. I got my chocolate melted. I'm just gonna leave it sitting there for right now. So first thing I'm gonna do is I've got my mixing bowl here. I'm gonna add my 3 blocks of cream cheese in there. And make sure it's good and soft. Leave it out for about an hour. You can do it in the microwave, but it works better if you just leave it out for an hour. And then if you want to add the 3/4 cup of sugar. I was trying to find where it said how much it was. And you want to blend this until it's smooth. Now you're going to add your vanilla. And one thing I forgot to mention is once I took that crust out, the bottom, turn your oven down to 300 degrees. And let it be cooling down because your next step is at 300 degrees. So I'm going to now add my eggs one at a time and just basically let them get blended in. So now I'm going to add my cream cheese, and I'm going to turn this off and raise it up because I'll just end up getting on the side, but I can take advantage of scraping it down while I'm doing it. And you're gonna also add your chocolate, the melted chocolate to it this time too. So let me scrape this down and get my chocolate added to it. And then basically what you're gonna do now, once everything's blended together with the chocolate and stuff like that, you're gonna just get it till it's all mixed together. End up scraping that down one more time, probably just mix it just a little bit more. But now the next thing I want to do is I want to take my 1 cup of cherries and we're going to pour it on the baked crust at the bottom and spread it out really good. Okay, so this is all mixed together and I'm just gonna add it over the cherries. I'll start on the outside, I'll work my way in. This is gonna bake in the 300 degree oven for about an hour and 5 minutes to an hour and 10 minutes until the outside is set. The inside may look unset, but that's fine. And once it cools off, it'll set fine. It's been an hour and 5 minutes, and this is what it looks like. If you tap it, you'll see the middle's kind of still jiggly, but the outside's firm. So what you're going to do is you just want to keep your oven closed, and just turn it off and let it sit for 15 minutes. So this is it out of the oven. It's set in the oven for 15 minutes, and then you just take it out. Tammy's just running a knife around the edge to loosen the edges. What you're going to do is you're going to let it sit on this wire rack and cool completely. And then once you've cooled it completely on the wire rack, then you're going to take it and put it in the refrigerator at least 8 hours.
This cheesecake has been in the refrigerator overnight, and so Kevin is leaving me to take it out of the pan
And decorate.
So I'm going to move this over to my tray here. And I'm going to cut it whatever way you want to. And one of the tips they give is to cut it with a warm knife, a hot knife, or
a frozen knife.
Yes, either a warm knife or a frozen knife. They also tell you can wipe it off between each time, which is how I'm choosing to do it. So this is this cheesecake. You decorate it using the cherry filling that you didn't use all your cherry filling, and you can also decorate with whipped cream. You don't have to, and you can also decorate with a Hershey Kiss. And so I'm going to decorate it the way that the chef did in the picture, and I'll show you the picture when we sit down at the table. But right now I just want to show you how this looks. So there is your piece. And so the way that he decorated it, he has some cherries here, it's just for decoration. I mean, and my juice is a little bit thick because you you have to leave this overnight. So this is set in the refrigerator, my cherry juice. I didn't want to leave it in the can. And so then you put a dollop, this down at the end. And then you put your Hershey's Kiss. Okay, his piece, it looks like this. And there is the chef right there with his daughter. So just imagine, just think, that was his daughter. This was back in November 2005, Southern Living. So
15 years.
If she looks like she's about,
5 or 6.
Yeah, if she's 5 there.
She's 20 now.
Isn't that crazy? This little girl is like 20 years old now. So that's neat. But this chef, his name, where's his name? Jude Washington is his name, and he's had all kinds of careers if you read the article. And he makes each holiday season, it says he makes 40 cheesecakes, and he makes all different flavors and everything. And so that's why they featured him in here, is because he really knows his cheesecakes. So this is his creation that we copied, that Kevin copied.
Yeah. The only difference is these pieces are a lot bigger.
Bigger than his.
Bigger than his.
I cut it. I'm used to Cheesecake Factory slices.
Yeah.
There you go.
Probably could have gotten instead of 8 pieces, probably 10.
Mmm. Oh wow.
I love the thickness of it.
I love that chocolate.
Chocolate's good. I wanted a little cherry flavor, but I really didn't get any of that.
The chocolate?
The chocolate reminds me of that peanut butter cheesecake I make with the chocolate on top of it.
Oh, I love the chocolate is, it's just so different. And it's not like a traditional crust where it's, it doesn't have a texture like a graham cracker texture.
It's softer.
Yes, it's very, very soft.
It's almost like 2 layers of cheesecake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the bottom layer is softer.
It's delicious. The cheesecake itself is delicious. It's a lighter flavor. When you get it with that bottom chocolate part, that's what shines for me in this dessert is the chocolate. But it is like 2 layers of cheesecake because it doesn't have like a crust. It doesn't feel like a crust. It's not like you bought an Oreo pie crust or something.
Yeah, or graham or.
It's not like that. But now the cherry flavor is nice. We usually try something from the back. Do you think it's going to be exactly the same?
Yeah, because I didn't go up on the back with anything.
It's just thicker.
Yeah, the cherry flavor is a very minor part of it, almost.
It really is.
I get very little cherry flavor from it.
I tell you what, though, I love it. I
like the texture and everything.
Absolutely, if you love cheesecake, that's delicious, and that I can't say enough about that chocolate.
Yeah, the bottom part's really.
And I'm wondering if it's because we bought that Baker's chocolate brand.
Now, like I said, the recipe, if you look it up, it actually calls for unsweetened chocolate on the bottom. And we use semi-sweet, so it's going to be a little bit sweeter on the bottom. But I like it. I can't imagine the difference unsweetened would have made. I don't know.
Right, yeah. I already had a box, a semi-sweet bar.
Yeah, so instead of buying something else, we just used that.
I just used that.
But it came out perfect. It worked exactly right.
I love this. I think anybody would be happy to have a piece of this. Nobody's going to be complaining. No. This would be a hit.
Yep.
He should put out a cookbook
of all his different recipes.
Yeah.
And they're all going to be basically the same. It's just going to be different mixtures into the chocolate's going to be different things.
So it's going to be the same base cheesecake recipe, but you know, if you want a lemon or a coconut or a pineapple coconut, you turn to this page and this is how much you need a pineapple, and he could show them decorated so that you could decorate them like he does. That would be a very successful cookbook, even if it was like an ebook where you could only get it online. So anyway, I hope you all will give this a try. It was fun watching Kevin make it, and thanks for watching.